Well, it's been different reactions, like you've been saying already, since the announcement of a Muslim ticket by the All Progressives Congress. Let's now have another perspective as we are being joined in the studio by a chieftain of the APC, Osita Okechukwu, and from Kaduna State, we have the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Kaduna Chapter Rev Joseph Hayab. Thank you both, gentlemen, for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Let me begin with you, Mr. Osita Okechukwu. Your reactions to this, hue and cry about a Muslim ticket. 29 years ago, Nigeria had, was here, Muslim ticket. But right now, it is a cause for concern. What does that say to you? And what do you think the implications are, really, for the APC?
Let me start by first saying back on the salah to our brothers and sisters who are celebrating. On the issue as regards my great party, the APC, yes, as a Christian, I share the position of my Christian brothers that it could have been a Muslim Christian ticket. But I also appeal that we need to downplay the issue of Muslim and Christian. One, for the fact that both Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and distinguished Senator Shettima Kasim are moderates. They are moderate Muslims. Secondly, there is no vote data in the country since 1922 when we started an elective voting. Today that says that all Christians will vote for Christians and all Muslims will vote for Muslims. Thirdly, since 2010 to date, we had a Christian-Muslim president. The crisis on the ground still subsisting. From 2015 to date, we had Muslim-Christian. The crisis is still subsisting. So we should look into the crisis that bothers the country, the challenges that our nation state have.
Yeah, but does this not further add to the crisis? I mean, this same faith ticket, could it not further polarize a country that is said to be already polarized?
No, why you might not take it that way? One, our sister political party, the PDP, also, if you call it a breach, also breach the zoning convention, where a lot of Nigerians have the view that for fairness, equity, natural justice, and good conscience, that after presidency in the north for 8 years, that it should go to the south. The PDP went ahead to elect a northerner. So if you call it a breach, there are two sides to the breach. Okay. But luckily for us, we are running a multi-party system. And as I said, there's no data that shows that all Christians will vote for Christians and all Muslims will vote for Muslims.
Okay, let me
so let's downplay
Reverend
and ask what are they bringing to the table?
Right. Let me bring
How do they solve our problems?
Joseph Hayab into this conversation. Reverend, let me ask you, does the religion of a leader determine his capacity? If no is your answer, why are you against this ticket?
Thank you very much for this important question. I think Nigerians need to be honest with themselves, and we need to look inward and know what is the problem we are facing as a country. Today in Nigeria, there is a serious divide. There is a mistrust. There is lack of understanding. One of the most common accusations against the current government is nepotism. Nepotism in the security architecture, nepotism in appointment, nepotism in virtually many of the things being done. And the truth about it is that because of nepotism, we've not been able to have the best of what we're supposed to have in the country. Because of nepotism, we've not been able to produce the best we're supposed to produce in even securing the country. And we've not overcome that. And we are now continuing with another level of nepotism, because that's the slogan of this political party, the next level. So it is sad that people are refusing to reason and understand the challenge we are facing. Government is instituted to solve problem. Government is not instituted to come and add or create another problem. Anybody coming into government that is not deliberately willing to solve problem, but he wants to add salt to injury, then he has a problem. The association I represent did come out publicly when there were just suspicion, there were just kind of insinuation that something like this was going to happen. And we offer advice because we know the situation. We know the distrust that is going on in our country. But those who feel they don't care, as the other speaker have said, because the other speaker is just talking about whether there is a proof of number. Brother, in this country, whether we do it or not, I have been part of this system for a very long time, and I know we have insisted that national census must have a religious question. Why are some people afraid to ask religious question on national census? And today you are saying that you don't know the number. If you say you don't know the number, then someone is lying to himself. I'm sorry, we've been led by so many misinformation, twisting of facts, twisting of reality, and even in a sensitive issue like this, we are not addressing it, but we are trying to twist reality. That is where we have our first problem.
All right, Reverend, so let me ask you, with these issues you have outlined, since the return to democracy in 1999, we've had a balancing of faiths when it comes to the presidency. A Muslim president, a Christian vice, or a Christian president, a Muslim vice. And still you outline these challenges. So how does this make it any different? Even with the balanced faith at the presidency, we still have these challenges. Don't you think religion is not the problem here?
I'm not sure we can be honestly say that the balance has not reduced the challenges. The lack of balance have created bigger division, bigger problem. I'll give Kaduna State as an example. We had a lot of crises in the past because in 1979, in 1983, and even in 1992, in all those years, it was a Muslim ticket in Kaduna State. But in 1992, those who had risen realized that there was a problem, and they recommended the idea of coming with a joint ticket or a ticket that balanced the people. And there was a shift from where we are to something else. We continued that. Even the military juntas realized that one of the challenges they had in governing Kaduna State and other part of Nigeria was lack of balance, and they did what could balance the country. I remember the first Christian to ever be deputy governor was Pamela Sadoki, because they realized that there was a need for inclusiveness, there was a need for togetherness. And whether people like it or not, there was a difference between that time than the reality we are facing. We continue to walk through that, and we were solving problem, gradually gaining ground. I can say to those who care to listen that after the Miss World Beauty pageant crisis of November 22nd, 2002, there was a 9-year stretch without crisis in Kaduna State, because people were beginning to understand themselves, people were beginning to be united, until the April 11th post-election violence that brought about a return to violence. But there was an effort making progress. But when we came to in 2019 and said, no, we don't even want to be together, let's just have a Muslim ticket. Those who have been following Nigerian history and Kaduna history will tell the truth that from 2019 to today, Kaduna has been in the news for terrible reason, losing so many people. Look, Christians in Kaduna State can say it over and over that they don't even know that there's a government.
Okay, great. Let me bring it back to Osita Okechukwu here. You heard what Reverend Hayab just said, that since the experiment, for want of a better word, of the Muslim ticket in Kaduna State, that could actually be an indication of what could happen across the country if in 2023 you have a Muslim ticket. Aren't you concerned that that may be a major issue?
What I'm trying to tell my big brother, Reverend, is one, the data I'm talking about is that I still stand to be corrected. That there's no data that shows that all Muslims will vote for Muslims and all Christians will vote for Christians.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
One,
but in
please,
the interest,
I'm coming, my sister.
Okay.
And I want to drive home to him that as a Christian, well, I would be the happiest if my friend Boss Mustafa or Governor Lalong or others, or any of them were picked. But I'm saying, that because of the fact that 2010 to 2015, when a Christian was a president and a Muslim was a vice, that the challenges that are confronting us is still there.
Yeah,
that from 2015 today, that I'm saying, why don't we look into what the candidates is saying? If you read the speech made by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he said, I hope to govern towards uncommon progress with innovation, difficult decisions. And if you get back to him, you pick that. If you look into Atiku Abubakar, also consider his past. If you go to Kwankwaso, if you now listen to my brother Peter Obi, he's now even giving a new dimension.
Yeah, but don't you think, hold on, let me put this in very quickly. Don't you think a precedent is being set with this Muslim ticket if it's allowed to go on? Sometime down the line in the future, if the time comes that Nigerians, find themselves with a Christian ticket, will it be acceptable on all sides?
No.
Whether it's in the northeast, northwest, north central, southwest, wherever.
No, my sister, get to understand what I'm saying. I'm saying the brass tag of the problem confronting us should be looked into. Why, from 1986, when they introduced SAP, that our standard of living has started down the lane. Who will recover us? Who will get us productive? Who will continue what President Muhammadu Buhari had already done in terms of getting back to land, except for the insecurity? Who will bridge the insecurity? I think that's what we should look for. Not exactly, I'm not saying
is it a matter of convenience
if
now?
a Christian brother becomes something, I'm not against that. But what I'm saying, let's do an audit of what each candidate is telling us he intends to do. And let's look back. We're running a system where today, God has blessed Nigeria, that our population growth is so high, but we do not have much work to engage these youths. And they have become a crisis point because we're not engaging them.
Is it not an indictment?
Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim,
right?
We want to know the solution. We want to know the solution. Let's not do the hype. Otherwise, we will knock up the APC, we will knock up the PDP, because they have all breached the fault lines. We cannot go that way. Let us be concise. I understand what Reverend is saying. I understand what my Archbishop told us the other day. I understand what the Christian Association of Nigeria is saying. But what I'm saying is that we must be reticent in blowing up the fault lines.
Okay, Reverend, let me bring you into the conversation because Mr. Osita here said that the two major political parties in Nigeria have breached those fault lines. For the PDP going north for a presidential candidate and for the APC having a Muslim ticket. But let me ask you, because your association has in strong terms warned against this even well ahead before it emerged. But now that this has happened, what is the Christian Association of Nigeria going to do? Are you going to be campaigning against the APC in real terms? What will you do next?
Whenever you are hungry, what you do is you look for food. And you are not going to eat any food that will become a poison to your stomach. The kind of food APC is offering to Nigerians is a divisive food, is a poisonous food, is a food that will create tension and will deny people sleep. And I'm saying without fear of contradiction that we are looking for a food that will heal the wound. We are looking for a food that will unite the people. We are looking for a food that will make everybody feel belong. One of the excuses that was given when this whole idea came up was they were looking for competence. And I've said earlier, I cannot imagine you telling me that competence in Nigerian cycle and in northern Nigeria, if you bring out 10 experts, 10 best, you will definitely find that the first 8 are Christians. I'm not saying others are not experts, but you see, it's an insult for people to just start giving us this excuse. The simple truth about it is that we are looking for the best Nigeria. But because I am best and my wife is best, we cannot be the president and the vice president of Nigeria. We are looking for the best Nigeria because a Lagos man is best, and someone in Lagos is also best. We cannot have a Lagos person as president and vice president. Heaven will fall. We know this in Nigeria. The same thing, if we are looking for best and we go for Christian best and get a vice Christian best, Nigerians will reject it. The fact is that flames will be going up in this country. So why are we lying to ourselves? Why are we pretending facing reality? I will always come back to use the Kaduna experience. In 1987, a preacher in Kaduna told people that a Muslim must never vote for a Muslim must never vote for a non-Muslim to be a leader. Gradually, this sermon is beginning to resonate again now. And what we are telling the political class is, don't divide Nigeria, unite the people. There are best people in every tribe, there are best people in every religion, there are best people in every region. They can deliver the good. Don't divide us by using flimsy excuses that can further divide us. Now, why are we having federal character?
Yes.
Why are we sending our children to federal institutions so that they will integrate with other people? What are we telling them? Look, brother, you are not the best even if you go to such thing. We don't want to teach our children the wrong idea. We want our children to know anywhere you come from, you can be the best in Nigeria.
Reverend Hayab, let me stay with you very briefly. Look, now that there seems to be some kind of choice, it's not just the PDP and the APC. There are other parties, including the Labour Party, that has a Christian, presidential candidate alongside a Muslim vice presidential candidate. As Christian Association of Nigeria, let me ask you the same question that Adeswa, my colleague, asked you. Would you line up then behind a Christian presidential candidate? Will that be the way out? Since this religious sentiment
I am sure that the Christian Association of Nigeria will not do that. The Christian Association will line up behind a team that can deliver, a team that has every face, a team that recognizes and respects shade of opinion. Because as a conflict manager, if you want to discuss peace with people, you don't shut down other voices. You don't refuse to give other opportunity to be on the table. Nigeria is in dilemma. Nigeria is in crisis situation. We need leaders from every shade of opinion. We need representation from every interest so that when we come to the table of dialogue, you will know someone is speaking what you are speaking and the other person. There are decisions that are taken when people become one-sided, and it has affected this country. That's why the security challenge we are facing in Nigeria today has refused to find solution. Not because we don't know how to do, but because when decisions are taken one-sided, the answer to that decision will be one-sided and the solution will never come. So Christians will not say they are going to vote for a Christian, but will vote for a balanced meal, a meal that appreciates unity, a meal that appreciates understanding, a meal that wants to carry everybody along, not a meal that says to hell with you, we don't care, oh, you are not qualified, you are not expert, you don't know how to do. What? How can I even imagine that?
All right, Reverend, there will be no flames. Nigerians, again, Mr. Osita has said it here. We do not have the fact that all Muslims in Nigeria vote for Muslim candidates and not all Christians vote for Christian candidates. So there will be no flames in the country. We do not pray for flames. Mr. Osita, let me bring it to you. You do make a point shared by a lot of people, including the candidate, who says competence, we can have a just, fair leader who is efficient, regardless of region or religion. But in a multi-religious country such as Nigeria, in a multi-ethnic country such as Nigeria, how do you effect those plurality in the conduct of government, the conduct of governance, without sharing power along those lines?
A balancing act.
Thank you very much. And I have to thank Reverend for at least agreeing that the Christian Association of Nigeria will not go one way. I thank him immensely, because all we are looking for is that if there's no Nigeria, there's nobody who will run for president if there's no Nigeria. So their country is very key in what we're doing. I understand the point, but please get this right. The fault lines were not created by us. And they told us even in the Bible and the Quran that God knows why we have different tongues. We have come to live with that. And we are saying, like in the APC, those even the traducers of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, agrees that he had, after 1999, transformed Lagos. And I think he's going to do the same to the country if voted into power. If you ask those who know Shetima in Borno, they will tell you that he was a bank manager, suddenly became Commissioner of Finance. From Commissioner of Finance, he became governor. And when he became governor, he made about 70 billion starting in his bank on behalf of Borno State. What did he do? He liberated the people. He paid all the pension, paid all the gratuities, went around the world, procured equipment, started doing skill acquisition and others. This is what we're looking for. And for God's sake, the real politic will tell you that Asiwaju, as a Southern Christian, if you use the Christian parameter, is a minority of the South. So if he's going north, he had to do a lot of calculations. That's why it took him about 3 weeks before he arrived where he is. Yes, he might not have arrived at Osita's preference, but I give it to him that he ended up picking somebody he feels he could work with. And he's not the only competent person, but have shown capacity as well and capabilities. That's my submission.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Osita Okechukwu is the DG, Voice of Nigeria, and Chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, Kaduna Chapter, Reverend Joseph Hayab. Thanks for joining us.